Today is Sunday, December 22nd, 2024, the day after LiveHard Phase 3. 1 year ago today, I started the 75 Hard program. I was not aware of the LiveHard program at that time. I just started 75 Hard. Heard about the program, had about 77 days before the refuge ruckus in early March 2024, and yeah, just wanted to do it. So me and my wife, we ventured out. It was a Friday, right at the start of winter, and we decided we were going to do this crazy thing called 75 Hard. Over the course of doing 75 Hard, learning more about the program, I found out that it was just the initial phase of the LiveHard program. LiveHard program composed of 3 phases of its own. I've got a cat that has decided to come in here now and eat, so if you hear crunching in the background, that's my cat who has been not in here all day long, and now as I'm recording this, he's decided to come in and eat. And now he's done. For the moment, I guess. So anyway, the LiveHard program is a year-long process. It starts with 75 Hard. Alright, you've seen videos every single day of the 75 Hard program. 75 days, you have 5 critical tasks that you have to get done. You have to pick a diet, stick to it. The only requirement imposed on you for that diet is no alcohol of any kind. Alright, but whatever else that the diet is, doesn't matter as long as you stick to it for 75 days. Your second critical task is to drink a gallon of water every single day for 75 days. Then here's the big one that really was tough for me and my wife. 2 45-minute workouts. One of them must be outside, and got to be at least 3 hours between them. Now, originally, when it was just the 75 Hard program, there wasn't that requirement for a 3-hour gap, but that is something that was retroactively added into it once Andy Frisella established the LiveHard program. All right. But yeah, 2 45-minute workouts. One of them must be outside for 75 days straight with a 3-hour time gap between them. Next, you need to take a progress picture of yourself, all right, of your body, what it looks like every single day for 75 days. Then last but certainly not least, you have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction entrepreneurial, self-help, personal development type book. 10 pages every single day. And me and my wife, we did that for 75 days. And shortly, I don't know if it was after or towards the end, I made up my mind that I would do the LiveHard program. So you get qualified for the LiveHard program. The initial phase is 75 Hard. Then there's phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Each of those 3 phases are 30 days long. All right. Again, I've got videos for all of these things. There's even more critical tasks in addition to the 5 for 75 Hard for LiveHard phase 1. All right. So in addition to those 5, the diet, the gallon of water, 2 45-minute workouts, progress picture, and the reading, you had to do 10 minutes of active visualization, all right, for kind of where you wanted your life to be. You had to take a 5-minute cold shower, and then you had to add 3 items to your personal power list. Those are your personal critical tasks that you need to get done in a day. All right. So with those 3 items, I counted them as separate things. 10-minute visualization, 5-minute cold shower. That was 5 additional critical tasks added to the 5 you already had to do for 75 Hard. You could start that right after 75 hard. You could wait a certain amount of time. Didn't really matter, right? I ended up waiting like a month and a half or 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, I'm not sure. So I finished up 75 hard in early March, and I didn't start phase 1 until late May, like a week or so left in May. So it took up most of June. After phase 1, oh, and by the way, if you fail any of the days in 75 hard or phase 1, you had to start over from the beginning of that phase. All right, so I never failed a day. Phase 2, you were required to wait a minimum of 30 days after you finish phase 1 before you start phase 2. And in phase 2, it is back to just the 5 critical tasks that you did in 75 hard. All right. So the diet, the water, the exercises, the reading, and the progress picture. The idea behind that is so that you can kind of see how quickly you can turn back on the mental toughness and the discipline that you've trained into yourself for 105 days up to that point. Did it really sink in? Did it become part of you, or did that 30-day break? Did you go right back to your old habits? I found that it didn't bother me. All right. Because there was a gap between 75 hard and phase 1, I felt like the lesson for phase 2 I actually learned in phase 1. All right, and I found I was able to turn that discipline right back on, do even more stuff, go harder. But what phase 1 taught me was that the 5 75 hard task I could do in addition to 5 other tasks, like my personal power list. And so I endeavored to have a personal power list for myself, kind of through phase 1 and mostly after phase 1. All right. And during phase 2, doing just the 5 critical tasks, I also tried to make it a point to do my 5 personal tasks. And I think I did that for 29 out of 30 days. That's not part of the failing aspect of it. If you didn't get your personals, it was just the 5 things. So with phase 2, if you failed any of those 30 days, you had to go back and start at the beginning of phase 2. All right. Now we get to phase 3. This is what I've just finished up. All right. Phase 3 had to begin 30 days prior to the date, month and day of when you started 75 hard. All right. So for us, that was, for me, that was December 22nd, 2023. So 1 year ago today is when I started 75 hard. So that means phase 3, we started on November 22nd, all right? And that would bring us all the way to December 21st, yesterday, day 30, and now the day after is my 1 year anniversary of starting and completing the LiveHard program, all right? So that's kind of an overview of where we've been. That's the culmination of everything. So out of the 366 days that this year has been, all right, from when I started, so 1 year ago today, because 2024 was a leap year, all right, so there was a February 29th in there. 165 of those days was spent doing the LiveHard program. All right, as I went through, was dropping weight, was getting stronger. I was injuring myself less often. Was able to do more. My workouts got more intense. I got more disciplined with things, and I gotta say, this program has changed my life. It really has. So with phase 3, I have taken my 30 progress pictures. You should start to see them up on the screen now. Days 1 through 10, 11 through 20, and 21 through 30. all right? I've been consistent. I still have all of my pictures from all of the phases. They're saved on my computer. I have made videos every single day. I've been consistent to make one the day before we started, all the days of the phases, 75, 30, 30, 30, and then one like you're seeing right now, the day after. So this one isn't just the day after phase 3. This is the day after LiveHard. All right, this is everything. So I took 30 pictures. I ended up doing 60 45-minute workouts. Probably 58 of them were outside. So in the rain, in the cold, high winds, because winter is upon us now. So the end of fall, it was in the 30s at times. Very, very cold. All right, and then when it starts raining, on top of that, it gets kind of rough. I know I read way more than 300 pages. All right, 300 pages of stuff. So, what book was I read? I think I read. My books have all swapped around since I changed up the bookshelf, but I finished up Beyond the E-Myth. It was a little underwhelming. There was some good stuff in it, but eh. And then I went into $100 million offers by Alex Hormozy. And while I was waiting for $100 million leads to come in, just because I ordered that quickly, because there wasn't much left in the offers book, I did read a few pages of In Search of Excellence. And it wasn't really my intent to read that book. It was just a placeholder because I had to read something until the book I actually wanted to read came in, which was $100 million Leads. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it now. So I read more of that today, and I will continue, and I'll get through that. Then I'll get back to In Search of Excellence. I'll probably start that one over. So yeah, I typically always read more than 10 pages per day. So not a problem there. What else? I drank over 30 gallons of water during this time. I maintained my diet. My diet was the slow carb diet from the 4-Hour Body book. So no white carbohydrates, all right, white or anything that could be white. So any wheat, any of your grains, like none of that stuff. Obviously no sugar or anything like that, for 6 days out of the week. And then 1 day per week, you could have carbs. In fact, he says go nuts. Now, as part of that, it wasn't just no carbs, no fruit also. All right, so I didn't do that just because of the fructose that's in it. No drinking your carbs. And drink lots of water. So those were the things that were part of the diet. So no alcohol is already part of the LiveHard and 75 Hard program, so that wasn't an issue. I don't drink anyway. I was already avoiding carbs and such, and so that was not a hard transition. But it seemed like my body did well getting carbs 1 day a week. And I didn't do it with sugars and things like that. It was just like potatoes, tortilla chips, corn, a little bit of bread here and there, all right? Nothing crazy. It's not like I was eating candy and cookies and whatever else. I wasn't. So I maintained my diet. Most of the time it was Saturday or Friday night, Saturday day, but we did have Thanksgiving during phase 3. So I did have my 1 day a week of carbs on a Thursday. I think that was the second week that we started this. So yeah, maintained my diet. I read more than, actually I think that's all the main 5 things. I read more than 30 chapters in my Bible. It was one of the critical tasks I added to my personal power list. I read over 30, really close to 40 chapters or so in my Zero G's book series. I'm on book 2 right now. Great series. Zero G's Part 1, The Armor Eternal by Darren Geisinger, and then Zero G's Part 2, The Provocateur. I'm in the middle of that one right now. All right, so very good series, got that done. I spent a significant amount of time in prayer, way more than normal, at least 15 minutes per day. So well over 8 hours of prayer time during this month, because I always prayed more than 15 minutes, mostly while I was out on a ruck. That was a little over half of what my workouts were, just strapping on a pack going, because again, greater excess prep, right? When the greater excess comes, we're going to be in the wilderness, got to be mobile, we have to get accustomed to carrying a pack. So that's what I do. I took 30 5-minute showers. It's ridiculous. That's a terrible part of this whole process. And it was terrible being the end of fall going into winter. The water was much colder in phase 3 than it was in phase 1 when it was May and June outside. So cold water wasn't that cold back then. Now it's colder, all right? So whatever that turns out to be, 12, so 2, 6 times, oh my goodness. That's like 2.5 hours of cold showers in a month. All right, standing in it, 2.5 hours worth of my time standing under there. Had my watch on, I'd get in, get it up to a temperature that I liked, and then set my watch to timer. I had a 5-minute timer set, and I'd turn the water to cold, and as soon as it was like, ooh, cold, start the timer and stay under that, and I progressively get it colder and colder and colder until it was all cold, and I kind of challenged myself to go longer and longer times with it being on the absolute coldest. All right, so I wanted to try and get there as quickly as I could, and yeah, terrible, but try to make some kind of game out of it. Otherwise you just really hate it. I talked to 30 strangers during this time. That was another critical task. I typically go out of my way to avoid talking to people. And so this has been good for me to kind of get out of my comfort zone. All right. As a kid, I had a terrible stutter, painfully shy. And still every once in a while it's difficult for me to say things. All right. Even earlier in this video, I've had to edit out gaps between words, especially the title of that one book that I don't want to say again, In Search of Excellence. You hear how long that was? I know exactly what the title is. I know how to pronounce the word. But even now, as an adult, as a 36-year-old, my mouth struggles with certain sounds. Certain words that start with certain sounds. I know what it is. My mouth just won't form the words. And so that is something that I've had to deal with my entire life. Specifically with things that have proper names or titles. See, if it's not a proper name or title, there's lots of words in the English language that I can use to where if I notice quickly that I won't be able to get a syllable out because I don't know how I know, I just know, I can quickly pivot and use another word, a synonym that means the same thing, so I can still communicate what I want. But when it comes to my name, when it comes to the city that I live, proper names of things, when there's no other options but to say specific sounds and specific words, sometimes my mouth just doesn't want to do it. And it's super awkward because other people that they don't know what's going on. They think that I'm forgetting my name or that, I'm unintelligent and whatever. Like, it's very hard because I'm not. I know exactly what I want to say. I know what I want to say in the future. Like, it's already planning in my head. But I think that's the way that God helps keep me humble. I think that's my thorn in the flesh. At least one of them. All right. Anyway, I've had to talk to 30 different people. I initiated the conversation with the folks and kept it engaged, kept asking questions. I didn't want it to just be, hi, how's it going? Okay, have a nice day, you know. But there's no requirement for them having to speak back or it be super detailed. It's for you. You just have to get over any fear or trepidation of talking to someone, you know. Look them in the eye, initiate conversation. Most people crave that. That was something that I found during this. Most people were very willing to talk, you know, often smiled and had a pleasant demeanor, you know, just because it was unusual for someone to actually try to talk to them, you know. At the grocery store, the cashiers, perfect place to do it. Normally I go self-checkout, but not during phase 3, all right? So a lot of the times, the Lord actually brought people to the property here that I was able to talk to, or neighbors who have been living here for a while that I've never run into. All of a sudden, our paths kept crossing during phase 3, and so I was able to talk to a stranger every single day for 30 days. It was kind of cool. Kind of cool. And then the last thing, the last critical task that had to be done in phase 3 that I did 30 of, was every day I had to do a random act of kindness. So sometimes it was clearing away an old cemetery here. One time it was picking up debris from the road. Sometimes it was volunteering and leaving a review for someone. A lot of times it was putting away shopping carts and cleaning up a parking lot, picking up trash. I had to put a dead dog in the wood so it wouldn't rot on the side of the road. You know, there's a ton of ways that you can show kindness. Kindness to specific people, kindness to your community, kindness to your neighbors, and you don't need a thank you. You don't have to post about it. All right? It's not the purpose of why we should be doing kind things for people or our community. We should do it just because it's the right thing. And I really like this aspect of the program that's like, all right, you've spent all this time developing you. Your cup should be getting pretty full. Now let that overflow and pour out into other people. You have a responsibility. Once you become a better person, you have a responsibility to better those around you and better your community and your environment and your world. Bring everyone up to where you are, all right? And then keep getting better. And then bring everyone else up with you, all right? That's the goal with this. So yeah, there were a lot of things to get done every day. It was exhausting. I still maintain to get some of my biggest orders done of the year for the leather business. Got done a lot of work on the property. Very exhausting. A lot of time. Totally worth it though. Totally worth it. Today I worked out again. Got all 5 of my critical tasks done. I woke up just after 5. Still didn't drink a gallon of water. Definitely didn't take a cold shower. All right. But I worked hard today. Got stuff done. Today was also a win. All right, just for my own personal stuff. And it is hard to express what this experience has been like. Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard. But I plan to do the LiveHard program again. I'm not going to record videos every day. This is a one-time thing for the first time through. But since I started a year ago today, December 22nd, that was like right after the first day of winter last year. So what I'm going to do is start the LiveHard program again, you know, Lord willing, all right, on the first day of spring, all right, and go through the different phases and different seasons of the year, and then the next time it comes around, I'll start the LiveHard program at the start of summer. Then the next time it comes around, we'll go through that year, then I'll go 3 months later, start the LiveHard program, first day of fall, all right, and go through every season in every phase. Or every phase in every season. That's probably what I should say. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. If you want to develop mental toughness, there's stuff you just can't motivate yourself to do. If you can't follow through on stuff, you can't lose weight, you can't advance in your job, you can't just get stuff done, you need to do the LiveHard program. You need to wake up early before your job, get your first workout done. You need to stay awake after your job, after you get home, go get your second workout done. Discipline yourself. Read. Yeah, you're going to lose sleep. Yeah, you're going to be sore. Yeah, it's going to suck. Do it. Because if you can discipline yourself to accomplish all that you need to accomplish to get you where you want to go, to get you where the Father wants you to go, and you can execute on those tasks no matter how you feel, nothing can stop you. As Andy Frisella, the creator of the LiveHard program, would say, if the thing that stops everyone else can't stop you, what can stop you? Nothing. If you want to learn to be mentally tough, do the LiveHard program. All right? Purpose of this channel, Greater Access Preps, to equip the body of Messiah physically, spiritually, and mentally to endure to the end of the Greater Exodus. That's the purpose of it. You've got to be mentally tough. You've got to be able to endure hardness as a good soldier, like Paul talks about. You've got to be able to put yourself through hard things and still move on. Still get up and accomplish what you need to. Because it's going to be hard. We're going to be tried out in the wilderness, and the temptation every single day is going to be, oh, it's so much better back in Egypt. It's so much easier, so much more convenient. And right now, we as a people are addicted to convenience. We've got to break free of that. It's not going to magically happen. We still have free will, even through the Greater Exodus. A lot of people say, oh, God will get me through it. God's going to let you choose. And most people choose not to do anything difficult in their life that they don't have to. And so they don't know how to overcome. You may not know how to overcome. Do the LiveHard program. Do it while you have time. I hope it'll change your life the way it's changed mine. Thank you so much for joining me for these daily check-ins. I pray that they have been a blessing to you. If you've watched all my videos for this entire process, shoot, that should be an accomplishment for the LiveHard program. All right? Go and do likewise. All right? I pray that you're blessed.